Only a year ago, Databricks and OpenAI stood on opposite sides of the AI divide. OpenAI, the global leader in frontier models; Databricks, the data powerhouse that launched DBRX, its own open weight LLM, in a clear bid to challenge the giants. And now, well, they are partners. A few weeks ago, the two companies announced a multi-year $100 million partnership, one of the most consequential database model alliances in AI history. GPT-5 and future OpenAI models are coming natively to Databricks' Data Intelligence Platform, directly embedded into the place where enterprise data lives, not through a connector, not through another SaaS layer, right at the core. This isn't just another cloud integration. This, my friend, is a paradigm shift. Databricks will bring OpenAI's full model suite, including GPT-5, directly into Agentbricks, letting companies build, test, and deploy AI agents on top of their own data without moving a single row outside governed boundaries. This gives more than 20,000 enterprise customers instant access to frontier models through structured query language (SQL), application programming interface (API), or user interface embedded inside Unity Catalog governance and observability layers. The result is this: data stays where it is, intelligence comes to it. Unlike most strategic collaborations, quote unquote, this deal comes with hard dollars attached. Databricks has committed to spend at least $100 million on OpenAI models over the contract period, creating guaranteed demand and ensuring deep platform integration. For OpenAI, this means predictable enterprise revenue. For Databricks, this means having the world's most advanced frontier models in its stack without giving up its model Switzerland position. For the past decade, AI has sat outside enterprise data. You had to actually extract, transform, and hand over your most sensitive information to third party APIs. This partnership reverses that equation. Models move to the data, not the other way around. Unity Catalog governance ensures audit, lineage, and policy enforcement natively. Agentbricks evaluates and orchestrates both GPT-5 and open-weight models side by side. And CIOs get production-grade deployments, not just pilots. It's not actually just a model deal. It's actually the creation of a data plane agent ecosystem. So when Databricks launched DBRX in March 2024, it actually signaled it could train high-performance open models on its own infrastructure. At the time, it was actually seen as an open AI challenger. But Databricks played a smarter game. Instead of going all in on a closed versus open fight, it stacked the deck. DBRX remains its open weight option. GPT-5 becomes the frontier plugin, and Agentbricks becomes the control layer that actually decides which models wins on eval. Competition became choice, and that's exactly what enterprises wanted. This partnership comes as Databricks crosses $100 billion plus valuation, $4 billion annual run rate, $1 billion in AI revenue, and global expansion. Well, with this impressive financial strength, it can guarantee open AI demand, secure capacity, and keep latency and compliance under its own roof. And this is actually how Monday mornings will change for enterprises. No more data duplication. AI agents run inside existing data governance boundaries. Frontier plus open models side by side, which is GPT-5 versus DBRX on real enterprise workloads. Real evaluation loops, built in accuracy, cost, and compliance metrics before deployment. So, one orchestration layer will actually mean multi-model resilience under Unity Catalog. Clearly, this isn't future of work fluff. This is the operational stack for the agent era. And as promised, joining us today is Nick Eayrs, Vice President of Field Engineering for Asia Pacific and Japan at Databricks. Nick has spent over 2 decades at the forefront of enterprise data and AI transformation. He currently leads the technical field team for APJ, helping some of the region's largest organizations unlock the full value of the Databricks Data Intelligence Platform. And before Databricks, Nick held very senior leadership roles at Hortonworks and SAS, driving customer success and scaling services globally. A multiple time President's Club winner at Databricks, he brings a very unique perspective at the intersection of platform strategy, enterprise adoption, and real world AI deployment. Today, we're very, very happy to have him joining us because he's going to help us decode the Databricks and OpenAI partnership, a $100 million deal that embeds GPT-5 directly into the Databricks data plane, signaling one of the most significant database meets model alliances in AI history. Welcome to Front Page, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having us. It's great to be here.
We are actually very thrilled to have you here and to help us break down what many are calling, well, a game changing moment for enterprise AI. Do you agree?
100%. I think this is a pretty pivotal moment for us, the industry, the ecosystem by and large, and I think it's a great demonstration to everyone out there around the power of having choice, openness, and interoperability when it comes to frontier model selection. And we truly believe that's a uniquely differentiating factor with Databricks.
You know, Nick, before we actually dive deep into what has just happened, I would love for you to actually just tell us, because how does one even perceive this? Because it's difficult to wrap one's head around this. Maybe shed some light before we get into the details of things.
Yeah. Well, I think the simplest way to think about it is in this world of AI, these frontier models are advancing at such a pace. And OpenAI has obviously been at the forefront, but there's many others, right? Anthropic, Claude, Gemini, and many more. And really, as these models, these frontier models continue to advance, they're unlocking game-changing use cases that can uniquely differentiate business models, products, and services. So customers, partners, the ecosystem that we work with, they really are seeking and looking for choice, but they want that choice and they want that openness and they want that interoperability to be done in a way such that it abstracts all the complexity away. So they can experiment with the latest and greatest frontier models, such as OpenAI, but they can also experiment with the latest and greatest open models, such as OSS GPT, Llama, DeepSeek, Qwen, and others. And we uniquely positioned in our ability to bring that all together. We give customers that choice. We give them the ability through one unified data intelligence platform to be able to select the best frontier commercial models, the best open models, and to figure out which one is best for their specific use case. Because there isn't really one model that's going to rule them all. You really need to experiment with these things and figure out what works best for you.
Which is actually something which is perfect for all of the consumers, Nick, the way you put it across. Yes, choice is, well, wonderful to have. And, well, you guys have just managed to give him all of that. So
Yep.
just a few months ago, Nick, Databricks actually launched DBRX, its own open weight model, a move many read as a signal to actually compete directly with OpenAI. Now, with this $100 million partnership, Databricks is actually putting GPT-5 right into the heart of the data intelligence platform. What changed? And of course, was this always part of a bigger model, neutral strategy, or did something actually fundamentally shift in how enterprises want to consume AI? Was this a long game?
Mhm. Yeah. Look, DBRX was us showcasing the wonderful capability that we have in the platform and how easy and simple and effective it is to build train and fine tune and deploy and serve these types of models on Databricks, and then to build really, really differentiated product services and applications on top. So for us, we always wanted to show to our customers, to our partners, and to the ecosystem that capability, and DBRX was a great way to showcase that and to give our customers choice again around an open model that they could potentially build on. But again, as I said, the frontier models have evolved so fast, and we want them to have a single choice. We wanted them to have the best choices, the best offerings available through Databricks. So really for us, I think it's key to our overarching company mission and strategy around democratizing access to data and AI and giving our customers the best platform to do that with, on top of what has always been an open core that provides interoperability, openness, and integration with the best that's out there. And that includes the best frontier models. As I said, it's not just OpenAI for us, it's Claude, it's Gemini, and it's much, much more. So we want to allow all of those to be available through the platform so our customers can pick the right model for their use case.
Fair enough. I mean, that makes sense. The fact that it was not just about DBRX and probably the ego with that, the fact that no, it's going to be only ours. It was about the fact that finally the customer's call was supreme as far as Databricks was concerned. Fair enough.
Correct.
Fair call. As far as this partnership essentially moves, it actually moves the model to data instead of the other way around, Nick. So GPT-5 now runs natively inside Agentbricks with Unity Catalog governing everything, which is data, lineage, and policy. So
Yeah.
how does this architectural shift, Nick, change the way enterprises build, evaluate, and deploy AI? And of course, what does this mean for latency, compliance, and trust, most importantly, at scale?
Yep, great question. Well, again, just to state the obvious, obviously these state-of-the-art models, whilst incredibly powerful, typically out of the box, they don't have a lot of intelligence and they don't have a lot of insight around what makes your organization tick, right? They don't understand your products, your services, your policies, and they have no real way to interpret that other than generalizing the public corpus of information. They're very good at reasoning on things like math and coding and some other specific applications. But again, when it comes to enterprise-specific tasks, enterprise-specific domain knowledge and domain specifics, that's where it can be very, very difficult to get the quality, cost, and trust that you would expect out of the outputs of these models. So really what we're doing is we're taking that generalized sort of frontier capability, and now we're bringing that into the Databricks world. And then obviously with our data intelligence platform, we are that trusted platform to collate, collaborate, and share on top of all of your company data and potentially first, second, and third-party data as well. And now we bring that frontier model to that data, but we do it in a way that's governed, secured, controlled, and has the requisite in place to ensure the entire life cycle from you leveraging your data, turning that into features, using that with the model and generating the insights, the inference, the actual decisions on the end, ensuring that entire life cycle has lineage, auditability, and traceability as well. So that's what's really unique. And then obviously bringing those two worlds together, this capability is now available to 20,000 plus customers across multiple clouds, AWS, Google, Microsoft Azure, and customers can now leverage this capability on top of their data, get access to their discrete insights around their products, their services, and policies, and start to build very uniquely differentiated products and services on top.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Which actually brings me to this point, Nick, which is the economics of it. This is $100 million minimum commitment, which is actually quite a big number. And also, I would say, a very bold signal for sure. So what most enterprises, actually cost and performance will be a deciding factor between frontier models like GPT-5 and open weight models like DBRX. That's quite clear. But how do you see this economic balance playing out? And where does GPT-5 win on capability? And where do open weight models offer smarter, more cost-efficient paths to
Yep.
production?
Yeah, great question. Well, from a demand perspective, I would classify it as limitless just now. I think there's potentially more demand than most can serve. So we see a huge amount of demand coming our way from our enterprise customers and partners, to be fair, around leveraging this capability to build apps, agents, multi-agentic systems on top of this capability. And this partnership, again, brings together the best frontier model with the best data intelligence platform on the planet, plus these world-class, enterprise-class governance controls and security capabilities as well. To your point around like which model excels best, open versus closed, GPT-5 versus the latest and greatest from the open models, this is really something that we would advise that you evaluate because it really, really does depend on the use case. GPT-5, you're very strong on reasoning and automation, multimodal precision, various other things. But the reality is you really want to evaluate the performance of the model on the specific use cases that you're tackling. And that's where we bring really, really unique technology and capabilities to bear. With Agentbricks, we make that super easy. We take the guesswork out of evaluating, hey, what is the right way to do this? What is the right best practices, research best practices to put into place? How do you evaluate model performance over time? How do you use human-based feedback to do reinforcement learning and improve that model and optimize that model over time and that agent over time? And how do you ensure that you deploy that efficiently and effectively? So, using the Databricks Agentbricks capability, we give our customers the ability to very quickly, automatically assess and evaluate the agent performance, the model performance, and then to fine-tune that through reinforced human learning and feedback, and then to auto-optimize that for cost or quality. So that's really what we're working on with most of our customers and partners.
Well, you put it across very simply, Nick, but my God, you're doing so much in terms of not just giving the choice, but also giving the entire wherewithal to help all of the customers to kind of finally reach that end point, which is to hone whatever is it that they have in terms of the policies or the use cases and reach that end point, which is fabulous, which is genuinely fabulous, which also, of course, generally speaking, at the end of the day, a consumer would definitely end up thinking about the governance and the trust aspect, which is, of course, has been, of course, one of the biggest barriers to real AI adoption, which basically has been governance, which is lineage. We talk about auditability and regulatory trust. Unity Catalog is central to how Databricks is addressing that gap. So how does this partnership actually operationalize trust, Nick, for regulated industries like finance, public sector, and healthcare, all very sensitive verticals? And how do you make boardrooms more comfortable with putting AI into mission critical systems?
Yeah, great question. For us, it starts with great data, right? Great decisions is foundationally built upon great data. And great data needs to have really good governance, controls, and security enforced on top. And to be clear, when I say data, I want to be specific here that in other systems, in other platforms, really when you talk about data governance, it's really, really isolated to just tabular data. When we're talking data governance and our ability to provide catalog capability on top of data and AI assets, that's the uniqueness that we bring. We're really managing and governing the entire life cycle of data to features, to models, to dashboards, no matter what that data and AI artifact or asset is, if it's an actual tool chain as well, all of that is in Unity Catalog and governed and controlled and secured. So you can have trust that you have your data and your AI assets and everything that you've derived from that, all governed, controlled, secured centrally. And then you get that the traceability such that, should the need arise, you've got the ability to go and look at how was that insight derived? How was that model deployed and served? And which features was it actually built on? And what was the lineage of the data behind it? So all of that comes together with our data and AI governance capabilities, which we call Unity catalog. It's some really good examples of that because I've been talking a lot, but let me talk about specific customer examples because I think your viewers will want to know about that as well.
It would be very nice. Yes, for sure,
Yes.
Nick. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the best examples actually in India, I'm sure everyone knows HDFC Bank, one of the
Yes.
largest private sector banks in India. We work very closely with them to modernize their underwriting and risk assessment processes. And we migrated that from a very, very complex Hadoop system. You can imagine the complexity there around, the data silos, the scalability and cost implications. But we dramatically simplified that. We brought all of that data together. We unified that using the Unity catalog capability, put in place the requisite access controls, lineage tracking, and ultimately boost productivity, time to value, and the product insights, the actual credit decisions and customer experience was improved dramatically as a result. So that's a great testament to financial services, which you referenced as a highly regulated industry. Maybe a health and life sciences example, because I know you mentioned that as well. AstraZeneca, one of the big players in this space. And as you know, health and life sciences, you're dealing with incredibly confidential, personal identifiables, information that is subject to high levels of regulations and controls. Here we were helping them pass, over 400,000 plus clinical trials documents, and actually using Databricks, which I referenced earlier, using a technique called information extraction retrieval to actually extract insights out of those clinical trial documents. And they were able to get that up and running in 60 minutes with the confidence that it was governed, secured, and controlled, and derive incredible insights and analytics on top of it using that information extraction retrieval pattern.
Wow. That is fascinating, Nick. That is genuinely fascinating. And of course, thank you for those examples and for the fact that you are now in India. Since
Yes.
we gave the India examples, metaphorically, of course, you're in India right now. And I would like to ask you, do you really enjoy being in India whenever you're here physically?
Definitely. Love India. And I believe there's a paneer on offer when I'm next in Bangalore. So I'm there.
Loads of it. Trust me. We like to welcome our guests with a lot of heart, which is why the reason I obviously asked you all of this is because this very, very important and very critical for me to ask you this, which is India is at the center of a massive AI transformation. From the India AI mission, Nick, and sovereign cloud initiatives to large-scale enterprise modernizations across BFSI, manufacturing, healthcare, as you just mentioned, and public infrastructure. So how do you actually see this Databricks-OpenAI partnership, Nick, playing out in the Indian enterprise ecosystem where data residency, compliance, and affordability are very often as important as capability? Are there any early lighthouse use cases or sectors in India that you see moving first on this agentic AI wave?
Yeah, definitely. I think India, as many of the viewers will know, is an absolute mecca, I would say, for digital native. I would argue nowadays AI native companies that are born with AI being the core unique differentiator embedded into the products and services that they're taking to market. And there's many examples of these AI native digital native companies that we work with in India. I'll touch on one, Swiggy. I think everyone knows Swiggy. Obviously,
yeah, we've heard of it.
Yeah. If you're ordering food, we're talking about your favorite paneer, ordering a paneer and getting that delivered across India. No mean feat, but they do it incredibly.
I love how you segued into paneer with that. Well done, Nick.
But they deliver it with incredible accuracy and efficiency.
Sure.
And they do a fantastic job also around the customer experience side of it. So it's an organization that cares very deeply about the customer experience. And the use case in particular that we worked with them on is a multi-agent customer support system. And we've just published a blog with Swiggy on this. So check this out on our Databricks.com website, because it just went live today. But to give you a little bit more detail, a multi-agent architecture to really differentiate customer service. They've got thousands of customers on the platform concurrently, but they deal with that in sub-second latencies 100% of the customer queries handled without
Sure.
human intervention, and the customer satisfaction has gone through the roof. Faster, more consistent, highly tailored, highly personalized sort of resolutions, and it saved them a ton of money as well. So they've moved customer service from being, a cost center to a unique value differentiator for the business, and all built on Databricks using a multi-agentic framework. It's a phenomenal use case.
That's wonderful, Nick. And it's very, very encouraging, obviously, for all of our viewers who are listening in, which actually takes me to this point, which is this definitely, Nick, feels way bigger than just a model integration.
Mhm.
Frontier models, open weights, evaluation frameworks, governance, agentic orchestration. I mean, they're all converging inside the data plane. So, are
Mhm.
we looking at the foundation of a new AI operating system for enterprises, Nick?
Mhm.
And how does Databricks see this shaping the competitive landscape, especially against hyperscalers and other data platforms over, let's say, the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'd say yes, yes, definitely. We're really trying to drive convergence through a unified data intelligence platform of
Mhm.
the best possible capabilities from end to end. Literally from landing the data, processing big data, doing that efficiently, doing that effectively, storing that in open data formats so that you control the data. It's your data. You
Mhm.
store it in an open data format, you process it once, and you then have again choice and interoperability and a safe exit strategy. So we provide
Mhm.
the capability to ingest, connect to sources, ingest data, transform data, and store it in an open way. We bring all of this wonderfully rich frontier model capability and AI capability, but
Mhm.
abstract the complexity of using it through these natural language based interfaces, just talking to agent bricks and getting agent bricks to solve the domain specific problem for you,
Sure.
whether it's that information extraction example that we spoke about with AstraZeneca, or whether it's a
Mhm.
multi-agentic system such as we built with Swiggy. But we're moving to a world where, again, we give you all the choice, the best frontier models, the best open source, open weight
Mhm.
models, but abstract the complexity of using them and allow you to just define the business problem, the domain problem in natural language, and Databricks figures it out for you. Add to that, as we said, none of that
Mhm.
matters if you don't trust the data and the data is of good quality and is governed and controlled and secured correctly. So we
True.
provide the governance layer, and we do that on multiple clouds. And again, we have multiple partnerships, not just with the frontier model providers. You may
Mhm.
have seen our partnerships with SAP,
Yeah.
with Palantir, with many others. So now we're bringing all these rich ERP, CRM, other data sources into the world of Databricks as well. So you can combine really, really rich data sets to create these new AI differentiated experiences and apps. So where does that take us from a future perspective? Well, if you
Mhm.
believe in this central lakehouse strategy, where you bring
Mhm.
all your data and AI together, and now you unlock it using open standards, open data formats, open capabilities. Now
Mhm.
you can power that next wave of innovation. And that next wave of innovation, we really believe, is going to be driven largely by the agentic sort of phase of expansion. And there,
Mhm.
we really see multi-agentic systems built on production quality data at production scale, with really good quality and great cost control and security being the unique differentiator. So Agent Bricks is a big bet for us over the
Yeah.
next 3 to 5 years. But more
Mhm.
than that, these agents ultimately come together in multi-agentic systems, as I said. Again,
Mhm.
multi-agent systems is a big bet over the next 3 to 5 years. And then
Mhm.
how do we take these agents, this AI, this data, and then meet consumers, meet users, meet the data and AI personas where they are
Mhm.
in experiences that are uniquely tailored to them? What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
Appifying everything, moving to a
Mhm.
world where the apps, the solutions that you build are AI natively powered and infused. So there we're betting big on our Databricks apps framework, our lake-based capability, which brings online
True.
transactional processing and really becomes the AI database of the future, powering AI apps, powering these AI app frameworks on top of these agentic systems, these models, and all of that data that you bring together on the lakehouse. Last but not least, I just call out that let's not forget, you want really, really democratized, simple interfaces then for the users that want to just visualize, explore, and derive insights from the data. So there, we're betting big on new visualization capability that's AI powered. We call it AI BI, but we also have a very unique sort of AI BI portal, which we call Databricks One. Very simple, natural language interface. Talk to your data, ask questions of your data. You don't have to know how to code. You don't even have to discover the data. It'll automatically discover it for you and make recommendations around what are the best data products and group them by domains to leverage, and as well as apps. So it's just a nice, simple interface to discover and use data and AI assets and apps. Yeah.
Wow, Nick. I mean, that's a plethora of aspects that you just
It's a lot.
took us through. No, but it's fascinating. I mean,
Yeah.
you must be so excited,
Yes.
especially when you're looking at the landscape over the next 3 to 5 years. That there's just so much that you
Yeah.
just mentioned, and
Yeah.
the opportunities are huge.
Yeah, for us, the fun part is building this with customers. I get
Yeah.
really excited when we sit down with customers like Swiggy and AstraZeneca and HDFC, and we build this together. So it just creates amazing co-build, co-development opportunities for us to reimagine core business processes, experiences, apps from the ground up, AI native. So it's just wonderful to do that with customers. Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, it's giving trust, it's giving choice, it's giving the entire wherewithal to the customers, and of course, the excitement of building it all together. Which, of course, brings me to this: Databricks has crossed $100 billion plus valuation. It's hit a $4 billion annual run rate and surpassed $1 billion in AI revenue, all while rapidly expanding globally. So well done, Nick, to everyone at Databricks. At that scale, every strategic move has ripple effects. I'm sure you'll agree with that across the entire enterprise AI ecosystem. So, how does this partnership with OpenAI fit into Databricks' long term growth strategy, Nick? Is this about deepening your enterprise moat, expanding your AI product footprint, or setting the stage to own the agentic AI runtime for the next decade?
Yeah. Yeah. Just to quickly reiterate some of those financials, because that 4 billion run rate was actually in Q2. So watch this space, and that's growing at over 50% year over year. So it is monstrous growth on a pretty big base.
Wow, that's
And
fabulous.
and just to call out how fast like that AI stuff is taking off, the AI revenue crossed a billion in run rate as well. So what does that
Wow.
mean? Like customers are seizing the opportunity to work with us and our partners such as OpenAI. And I think demonstrable to that is the size of our strategic customer base. We've got 650 plus now customers that are well over $1 million plus in annual revenue run rate. We've also been positive free cash flow for the last 12 months. So the business is incredibly healthy.
Nice.
Allows us to innovate fast and invest where it matters. I think I mentioned earlier about 20,000 customers worldwide,
Yes.
with a large number of those actually being in the Fortune 500 just now. So I think it's a testament, number one, to the customers' belief and trust in us and our ability to execute. Number two, I think it's testament to, again, what I said earlier around like, hey, we really just want to work with our customers to build and co-create and co-develop value. So we put all of our effort, all of our energy, all of the success back into obsessing about how to create value for our customers. And I think that uniquely differentiates kind of our partnership and long-term growth strategy. And just to add, again, this is much more than just that OpenAI relationship and partnership, right? This money, this success, this commitment from our customers is going into broader ecosystem relationships and partnerships with Microsoft, with Google, with Anthropic, SAP, Palantir. We really want to be at the forefront of leading and pioneering and creating a new category of data and AI players. So we're really trying to push the envelope and push and lead the establishment of a new global AI ecosystem. So at its heart, I
Nice.
think it's all about us staying customer obsessed. I think it's all about the long-term strategy of if we focus on that, we will build what our customers need. We'll build what matters for them. That allows us to innovate very fast, and we
Mhm.
want to be the category leader. We want to lead this space. We want to be the defining company when it comes to the global data and AI ecosystem.
So we were right when we said that, Nick, that you want to rule the next decade.
Yes.
Absolutely. I like that. All right. So before I let you go, Nick, of course, I definitely want to get your thoughts on this. Next month, which is the 12th of November, we're very specific at 9:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Ali Gotsi and Sam Altman will come together for a first of its kind virtual event to unpack what it really takes to build agents that work. Please, I would like to understand what can our viewers expect from that conversation, Nick? And also, Databricks recently made headlines for investing in Naveen Rao's new AI hardware startup, a
Yeah.
bold bet on brain scale efficiency and next gen compute. So, how does this move fit into Databricks' larger AI strategy?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
your thoughts, Nick.
Yes, well, first of all, make sure you don't miss it, right? So catch the webcast. I think you're going to learn a lot more
Mhm.
around the strategic relationship, the investment, how we're putting that to work. And I have no doubt that we'll talk to specific early examples of the value that we're starting to co-create with customers. And let's not forget as well that OpenAI is a customer itself of Databricks.
Sure.
So I imagine Sam might drop that into the conversation as well. So make sure you don't miss it. I'm sure there'll be some really, really fascinating insights around OpenAI, not only as a partner, but as a customer of Databricks as well. And then,
Mm.
yes, Naveen Rao, an incredible thought leader in this space, came through our Mosaic AI acquisition and did a phenomenal job, leading and pioneering our AI R&D division. And it's great to see that, that partnership, that relationship continues with
Mhm.
unconventional. I believe that's what he's calling it, unconventional,
Mm.
to
Mhm.
build a new era of compute capability, brain sort of scale compute capability for this new AI era. I think it's just again testament to Databricks really wanting to drive again category leadership in that data and AI ecosystem, and part of that is us recognizing that there's great new emerging tech and companies, and we want to invest in them, and we want to build the ecosystem up
Nice.
given the good fortune that we have. So we continue to invest in companies in the ecosystem as well.
Wonderful. Nick, finally, I would just like for you to maybe give a message to all of the people who are watching, all of the viewers, and the India AI ecosystem, and whoever you want to give a shout out to, Nick. This would be the time for you to do that. We'd be very grateful for a message from you.
Yeah, well, again, thank you for taking the time to view this, and please do connect with me and find me on your favorite social media channel. I would love to connect. My message would be: don't wait, get started now. Like the space is moving super fast. If you're not thinking about, talking about, or leveraging AI as a unique, compelling differentiator for rethinking, reimagining the way that you serve customers, the way that you go to market, the way that you run your business, then you're late. Like now is the time. Seize the moment, seize the day, get involved. And if you need help, don't feel bad about reaching out and asking for support. We love helping our customers co-create and co-build great data and AI solutions and innovations. So reach out, connect, but don't wait, get started now.
Wonderful, Nick. Thank you so much for that. That was truly inspirational, and all your insights and thoughts. And of course, the landscape in the future looks wonderful. So, wishing you and your team all the best.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for being on Front Page. Well, this partnership, as Nick had just mentioned, effectively turns Databricks into a model agnostic AI runtime. It already had the data layer, the governance layer, and the open weight option. Now, with OpenAI on board, it has the frontier horsepower to match. For OpenAI, Its diversification beyond Azure and a deep enterprise moat. For Databricks, its strategic positioning against Snowflake and hyperscalers. For CIOs, it's the first credible path from POC to production without compromise. So finally, a year ago, Databricks and OpenAI competed for model mindshare. Today, they're actually fusing frontier intelligence with enterprise data gravity. GPT-5 is no longer a distant API. It's sitting inside the world's most powerful data lakehouse, ready to power real production agents. This isn't just about AI adoption. It's about who controls the stack, models, or data. And for the first time, both sides have joined forces. We will definitely like to know what you think, so please let us know in the comments below. It was a wonderful, invigorating conversation with Nick. We're going to take a short little break, but when we are going to be back, we're going to be back with an even more or equally enthralling conversation with another brilliant mind, only on Front Page.